know you with their friends, girl, you got it.
Welcome back to Princess Core. I'm so glad you're back for another video. This video is pretty casual and impromptu. I have been gone for way too long. Growth is so chaotic. Trust me, it's nothing like what you would imagine. It is, but it also isn't, because everything that you work towards, when you start to achieve, it kind of shifts you out of your comfort zone. It just gets chaotic, and if you don't have like a really good system and routine, it is too easy to get overwhelmed, swept away, carried away. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get into this video. Finding yourself is something that we hear a lot. We hear it often, finding yourself. There's even like so many videos about how to find yourself, but the actual process is gruesome, grilling, overwhelming, chaotic, and that has been the first 2 weeks of June. In May, or should I say since the beginning of the year, I've kind of had a vague idea of what exactly it is that I want to do. However, as the months go by, as I gather different experiences, as I have different conversations with different people, as my world expands, I'm realizing it's all going to be simultaneous. Like, it's always going to be simultaneous. There's never going to be a time where things are consecutively happening. I don't know if that happens for other people, but for me, taking in all of my experiences since the beginning of the year, I'm learning that you have to find a way to sort of bring organization into all that chaos, and that is where your unique power is, because nobody could ever help me to organize and reframe my reality in a way that is going to be beneficial to me and help me move forward, you know? And so you need to take your own unique experiences and learn from them, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say. Since I have been MIA, and I really want to show up on here, my whole thing with showing up is showing up with value, you know? So rather than this be like a regular chit chat about nothing, this video is going to be about conversations I've had with industry leaders, millionaires, really successful business owners and entrepreneurs, coaches, mentors, amazing panelists from all the conferences I've been to. You wouldn't believe the amount of value that I gained from going and listening to the panelists. The first one, getting into it straight away, confidence. Confidence is literally the most expensive currency that you could ever work with. It is the highest currency across all boards, no matter what industry you are: finance, creative, makeup artist, music artist, banker, I already said finance, nurse, okay, maybe not nurses, because nurses have their own playing field, mechanic, plumber, you get the drift. Confidence is the highest currency across all boards. No matter what career path that you're choosing, you need to have confidence that what you're doing is what you're meant to be doing and is what you want to be doing. That is going to get you farther than any amount of like false dedication. I wouldn't call it false dedication, but you know that vibe where you're studying to be a doctor because your parents want you to be a doctor, and you're getting the grades, maybe you even become a doctor, but you never wanted to be a doctor. You don't feel like you want to use your life for that kind of service. That is what I call false dedication. So having confidence in your own dreams, desires, your own path is going to get you the life that you really want, rather than having false dedication to things for whatever reason that you think you have to have a false dedication to something. There are even content creators and YouTubers who have a false dedication to it because they don't really know their why, you know? And just because somebody is really successful at something doesn't mean that the way that they did it is the way that you need to do it. You need to always be thinking about finding your own path, finding your own voice. The thing with having a voice is you have to be confident in order to use it. Everyone has a voice, but does everyone's voice get heard? No. The voices that get heard are the voices who are confident about what they're saying, even when they are wrong. How many times have you had someone be loud and wrong? too many times, in my opinion. Literally, the only way to course correct anything, the world we live in, the situation that you're in, is to be able to call out things that are loud and wrong. That's what my whole passion and mission is, to give a voice to the topics, to the people, to the situations that aren't being held to the amount of importance that they should be held to. I'm going to need a whole lot of confidence to do that. Confidence is the highest currency that you could be working with. If you lack confidence, the first thing you want to do is self-reflect, okay? What that self-reflection should bring is healing. And I say that speaking from my own personal experience. I didn't used to be confident. I started this YouTube channel like 2 years ago, and I'm just now starting to post on it. It was not only because of a lack of confidence, but that definitely plays a very huge part. What are people gonna say? Are they gonna like it? You know? Looking for all of these outside validations. If you lack confidence, stop looking for outside validation. Okay, that's never going to do anything for you. And I get it. It seems like the people who are most confident get the most validation. However, it's not one before the other. The confidence actually comes before all of that external validation. You have to validate yourself and your experiences first, okay? And then after you've done that, you need to dig deeper. What that self-reflection should bring is clarity. Clarity in who you are, what your purpose is, and how important it is for you to walk and discover and use your gifts towards that purpose. Imagine you got a Christmas gift. You imagine the size of the box. If you never open it, that gift never has any impact. You know, and if you do open it and if you do see what's inside but you never use it, it's a waste. And it's the same with the gifts that God has given every one of us. It has a purpose, it has a use. And until you get clarity on what that purpose and use is, you're not going to be at peace. That's just what it is. Now back to confidence. What more can I say on confidence? Picture your ideal profile. And I'm speaking from a point of view for somebody who is lacking in confidence, okay? You most likely are picturing a bulletproof profile. However, the irony is, there never is going to be a bulletproof profile. No matter what you achieve, no matter how great you think you can be, no matter how perfect you think you can be, there's never going to be a bulletproof profile that you can make for yourself that will stop people from being mean or scrutinizing you. You just have to be yourself. And that's where the power is. There's nobody else that can do you better than you. There's nobody else recording this YouTube video right now telling you all the things that they've learned from speaking to really great people, the people I've spoken to. There isn't. I had those conversations, and if I don't share them with you, you will never get the insight into those conversations. Everything in life is like that. It starts by making the choice. The first choice I made was, I want to have impact. I want to have value. I want to talk about important things. Second choice I made was surrounding myself and attending events where I could meet people who would help me nurture and expand this point of view. And then I got the notes. And then I decided I'm going to share it with you guys. Now I'm here sharing it with you. This is what I mean by things aren't always going to happen consecutively. I attended this conference like 2 months ago, and now I'm sharing it with you guys. But it's coming full circle because I am sharing it. So, you know, if there's something that you've been wanting to do and you feel like, oh my God, I might be too late, you're not. You're not too late. If it's still on your mind, pick yourself up, get what you need, and just have the confidence to do it. Okay, let's move on to number 2. We spoke a lot about confidence, and I feel like I did that because it's really important. You can't buy it. It can be taught, but really, I feel like confidence is a spirit, like the spirit of fear. Confidence is also a spirit. You have to have that spirit of boldness in order for you to be confident. Number 2, the currency market affects the stock market. I'm not going to speak too much on this because the person I had this conversation with wouldn't speak too much in it either. He didn't want to be liable for my financial decisions, and that's fair. You have probably heard of like forex trading and all of that. Forex trading is actually very different from cryptocurrencies. Forex trading is the currency market. If you trade stocks, if you trade on the stock market, essentially you want to monitor what goes on in the currency market. Somehow it affects what goes on in the stock market. If you're into finance and you know more about this topic, I definitely would want to meet you and have a chat. That's the tea, okay? Third is that we are all energy. We are all energy. We are all energy. That's literally all I wrote down. This particular conversation is actually quite long and deep and extensive, but the summary of it is, if you know anything about energy, you know that it is the source of everything that you see around you. Electricity, all the technological innovations, all the medical innovations, any innovation you can think of comes from a source of energy. And so to see yourself as embodying that same energy means that your potential is literally infinite. We hear that often, but we don't give much accolades to potential. It's usually used in this context of, oh, if a man has potential, don't fall for that. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about your potential as a human being. Think of everything that your life embodies, everything that you hold dear. That is all a product of another human being's imagination and action and creativity, pretty much. Something that was created 10, 20, 30 years ago still have an impact today. Energy. Don't underestimate the amount of potential that you have to change the world, period. Don't sleep on yourself. Which brings us smoothly into our fourth point. Fourth point on my notes is, everything that you believe is possible is real. I feel like this conversation is one that is meant to just expand your mind, knock down all those bricks of fear and limits. I'm getting so inspired, even just reiterating and remembering the conversation, reiterating my notes and sharing this with you guys. Everything that you believe is possible is real. That's a full sentence. Take it in. Okay? Say it again and again until it sinks in, until you get it. Everything that you believe is possible is real. A human being has over 1,000 thoughts a day. Don't quote me on that. Where do those thoughts originate from? What is the journey of those thoughts and where do they end? Everything that makes up your world came from one single thought that kept expanding and expanding and expanding, and now we have this whole amazing, beautiful world around us that we have to protect. Everything that you believe is possible is real. And until you start to believe that you can have more, that you can be more, do more, that your limitations can be overcome, that whatever the peak is for you, you can go higher than that. Until you kick down all of the walls that are holding back your creativity, your potentials, your wisdom, your strength, until you heal those wounds that make you feel like you're not good enough to do the very thing that God has put in your heart for you to do, you're not going to be able to do it, unfortunately. That's why they say your biggest enemy is you, because you literally have to get yourself to that point. You can get all the help in the world, but until you're ready in your heart, you will not be able to move. And this is why I love God so much. I've had a phase where I questioned Christianity. I was like, side-eyeing them. I was like, you guys have done so much evil and you still claim to be like the most righteous. I even had a conversation with my mom about it, and she's like, you gotta be careful. And she was right. So what am I doing questioning my faith? I realized I could question all these social constructs all I want, but it's not for me to question my faith because it's too real to question. Like, my whole life is literally a testimony. I've remembered randomly situations I've been in that I should never have been in. I should never even have gotten out of. So who else could have gotten me out of those situations if it's not the God that has known me from before I was conceived and put all of his blessings and desires and love for him in my heart? Maybe you think you haven't had an encounter with God because it's nothing like what you see televised, but child, look inwards. Look inwards. Question why you're still here after everything that has gotten you to this point. Asking the right questions will get you the right answers. You're still here for a reason. You're watching this for a reason. Fifth thing on our list is write down your wins. Write down your wins, big or small. Write them down. If you don't journal, you should probably start now. You can even journal on your phone now. I don't trust those apps, but if you want to, you can. I journal with pen and paper. It seems like common sense, right? But even reiterating it now, my brain is still like bursting because you need to actually write down your big wins, your small wins, your tiny wins, your magnanimous. Okay, maybe not the magnanimous ones because you probably have like a plaque or something for that to remind you, but focus on the small wins. For the sake of this conversation, focus on writing down your small wins. Okay, your little victories, little moments that made you feel like, okay, we got momentum. Those moments where you really shine, the core of your being really shines in that moment. It doesn't even have to be like an award or a situation where you won something literally, but if you get to a point where something that used to trigger you so bad doesn't trigger you anymore, you've healed and you've grown past it, that's a win, because now that trigger no longer has power to destroy your life. Write that down, because you might forget that you did that. I literally don't have a LinkedIn right now because I don't know how I got here. That's what I tell people. It seems funny, it seems cliche. Write them down, okay? Because you will forget. If you think you won't, you will. What did you accomplish 2-3 weeks ago? You can't tell me because you didn't write it down. I can tell you what. I literally attended a workshop for Black entrepreneurs hosted by House in collaboration with Black House. I feel like I talked about this before because last year their event was one of the first influencer events I attended. But yeah, I did that and I met really impressive people. I even have notes here. How to use AI for your business. I am writing things down more and more and more because you need to actually be able to go back to the board sometimes and be like, okay, what here can help me? Like what from my past experiences can help me in this current challenge? Sixth thing, smooth transition into number 6, use a planner or a calendar. It might seem boring, it might seem tedious, but trust me, that will help you stay on track with your goals and your tasks more often than if you don't write them down and if you don't use a calendar or a planner. Personally, I would say I love planners because there's that incentive there to get the thing done and there's that feeling of reward when you cross things off your list. I don't always use them, I'll be honest, okay? I'm not gonna front and be like, oh yeah, super organized, my calendar is like totally detailed and I do every single thing that I write down sometimes. No. Sometimes it takes me months to complete a task and throw it off the list, but because it's on that calendar and it's on that planner, I eventually get to it. If it's not there, then it's at the back of my mind. And I don't know about you, but if something is at the back of my mind, it usually stays there. 6. Number 7, everything is a learning experience. Yep. Probably heard the saying, there's no bad publicity. All publicity is good publicity, whether it's good or bad. And it's the same sort of sentiment, even though it's not exactly the same context. Everything is literally a learning experience. So whether what happened was good, or whether what happened was bad, just get in the habit of reflecting. Reflecting is such a powerful tool because life happens so fast. So fast. If you don't stop to think and blink and reflect, you're gonna miss it. You wouldn't even know that happened, even though you were there. Trust me. Back to the point of everything being a learning experience. Even today, I had a really great experience. I would actually call it a great experience because I felt good. You know, I felt like life is beautiful. You know that feeling after you just have brunch with your girls, after life has been so chaotic and you feel like life is worth living again? I felt that today, but I wasn't even in the company of anybody. It which makes it an even better and more memorable moment. I felt good. I don't know how else to explain that in a way that really gets it across, but I felt good about where I was, about what I was doing, and I felt good bigger than that present moment. Even though I was in the moment feeling good, I didn't have any sneaky worry at the back of my mind. I was just feeling good, and I was experiencing that whole event. It was an exhibition in Queen Street West for an art sculpture by a female artist. I didn't get to meet her. This PR company that I know sent me an invite, and so I went, made some content, and I was just feeling good. It rained, you know, there was a guy playing the saxophone. He played Water, he played a couple other songs. It was a vibe, and then I got a certain urge to dance in the rain, and I did. And it was amazing. You know, like, things eventually fall in place. Everything was in place. It didn't matter what was wrong. I didn't feel the burdens of the world on my shoulders. Like I said, the beginning of June has been really chaotic for me because I have been dabbling in many things, trying everything, just trying to get this bag, you know, one way or the other. Speaking of wins though, I got accepted into the Snapchat creator program. So I'm a Snap star now. If you add me on Snapchat, you'll see a little star beside my name. This makes me feel so good. It's giving growth. It's giving growth. Like, it's actually giving growth. Yeah, I did that. Back to everything being a learning experience. I've been on Snapchat for years and years and years. I'm a Snapchat babe. I love Snapchat. I've been creating on Snapchat, but not really creating intentionally. And that's the thing about intention. Intention is such a powerful tool. I probably have something about intention in these notes, but if I don't, I'll talk to you about it. Because if you don't start being intentional, child, then you're planning to get lucky, and good luck to you, because you're gonna need it, right? You need to be intentional about the things that you're doing. I've been posting on Snapchat from time, and I just thought, how nice would it be to actually be able to build this into something, like build a community. And so I applied to the Snapchat creator thing. I didn't do this right away, of course. Like, again, everything is not going to be consecutive. It's going to be simultaneous. The fact that I'm in this Snapchat program now is like directly related to the fact that I love to post on Snapchat so much from when I was younger. And then I started being interested in content creation. And then I started thinking of how to monetize and incentivize my social media presence. It's all directly related, even though it didn't happen consecutively. Wherever you are right now in your life, whatever you're doing, you might think, oh my god, I'm not doing as much as I should be doing, or I'm not where I should be, or you might be tempted to compare yourselves to other people that you see online. And let me tell you something about people online. You've probably heard this so many times before, you've probably seen it many times before, but people still just don't get it for some reason. It's all curated. Social media is curated. Even this video, before I post it, I have to edit it and make it look presentable and nice, and make it look like I know what the hell I'm chatting about. It's all curated, man. You can't be comparing yourself to people. And I'm talking to myself too, trust me. These days I find myself scrolling on Instagram and it's just doing nothing for me. No inspiration, nothing. That's why I really love the kind of content I create, and I want to keep creating content like that, because half the time I'll go on my own page and be watching it and I'll be like, girl, that's so true. I needed to see that. You know, and I feel like there's definitely going to be other people out there who feel like that. And I've met a couple of them. They're like, oh my god, your posts motivate me sometimes. Like, this is why I'm here. This is why I do this shit. Number 8, do all the things and trust yourself. Literally what I'm doing right now, it seems like I'm moving on vibes, but even then I'm being intentional, and you can't trust yourself unless you're intentional about it. How are you going to trust yourself if you don't intend on being somebody you can trust? That's a word. You can't trust yourself unless you intend on being somebody you can trust. Do you get it? Because half the time we're like, trust is a thing that we don't think is personal. So like, trust is always used in so many different contexts where it's so impersonal. Like, oh, do you trust that person? Do you trust them not to do that? Do you trust this person enough to give them that? Do you trust yourself enough to go after the things you want? And do you trust that you're not going to misuse the blessings that God will give you when he finally answers your prayers? Like, are you somebody you can trust? Can we get into that? Child, these notes are so fire. Well, if you are seeing this video, God loves you. That's all I can say. There's no way you're going to, well, I won't say there's no way. You could probably meet these people that I've spoken to. These notes are from 7 different individuals who have experienced life in many different fields and came to share their knowledge with us. You probably wouldn't get this many, should I even say nuggets? These are not nuggets, these are bombs of wisdom. You will never get this many bombs of wisdom from anywhere else because only me was there and I'm sharing it with you all now. Number 9, spend less time worrying. All my days. The amount of days I spent worrying. The thing about worrying is you don't even realize it affects your mindset. It demotivates you. Worrying does not ever solve any problem in this life. Instead of worrying, brainstorm. Do all the things you can do. Try and trust yourself. Literally, just trust me. And I'm saying trust me because me having experienced severe depression and me having considered myself as somebody that has anxiety, and basically me having experience with mental health issues. Let me not come and list all the mental health issues I have on here. Me having experience with mental health issues, I just realized qualifies me to chat to you about this. I can turn this camera on and be like, why are you worrying? You're wasting your time. Like, you literally should be brainstorming instead. And of course, when somebody has something to worry about, it's not always as easy as not worrying. However, if you have an alternative, why wouldn't you take it? I'm reminiscing now on all the moments I've spent worrying that didn't produce anything, because worrying never does, could have been spent brainstorming, looking for solutions, being creative. Even when I'm pretty much overwhelmed with life, I do art. I'm trying to not only do art when I'm overwhelmed now, because I want to see what my creativity is like when I'm happy, basically when I'm good, when I'm chilling. I want to see what I can create. I don't only want to see what I can create when I'm not settled, you know, when I'm all overwhelmed and when my mental state is not at its best. So, number 10 is about the places where you spend your time. Go to places where you feel comfortable and inspired in. This is like a no-brainer, but depending on who you are and what you do, you might not actually know how to find these places that will inspire you more. You might not know how to be comfortable in these spaces, or you might not know how to find spaces that are both comfortable and inspiring. One of my tips for those is Eventbrite. Okay? Eventbrite. I'm literally supposed to gatekeep this, but since I fuck with you and you're on here, I'm gonna tell you, go on Eventbrite, tap up free events, 1, if you don't want to pay for them. 2, type up conferences, panels, talks. That's like your second key search term, really. And then your third key search term should be something related to your field, whatever you're interested in. Or maybe not your primary interest, but your secondary interest. You'll be surprised how much events you will find on Eventbrite that are free and will give you actual value, will allow you to network, will inspire you, and are safe and comfortable spaces. Eventbrite. If you're not watching this video, you're not gonna get this tea. That's why I'm actually spilling, because if you're here, you're a gang. I'm sharing my resources. I want you to be able to find these places that are going to inspire you and make you feel comfortable and safe and align with your goals, your values, and who you're trying to be. You can't keep spending your time with Shadi, that was your high school friend from 10 years ago. Shola, that you guys just do random shenanigans whenever you guys hang. Or Tiffany, that only hangs around you to gossip. You get my point. If these people, if the places you're spending your time aren't aligning with your goals, your future self, people forget you're living in the present moment, yes, but literally, how did you get here? Some version of you in the past was like, I want to be here today doing this. Like, some past version of me was like, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to record YouTube videos. And now I'm here recording YouTube videos. If I don't take that initiative and intention to plan out where I want to be and who I want to be, I'm not going to know who I'm going to end up being. I really like that me asking you to picture who's around you in 5-10 years if you've accomplished everything you want to and you are everything that God has called you to be. It's actually made me want to reflect. Think about who would be around me. What would my life look like once I'm everything that God's called me to be? I definitely know the people that are not going to be around. I'm gonna have this conversation with myself and God later. Number 11, it's always going to be okay. Need I say more? If you're here, if you're getting all of this wisdom, if you're watching this, you are already on the right path, and everything that you learn from this will keep you further on that right path. So it's always going to be okay. This video is proof for you that it's always going to be okay. So if you didn't believe it before, believe it now. If you had told 15-year-old me it's always going to be okay, she would have laughed in your face. Actually, she may not have laughed in your face. She might have done something a little bit more out of pocket, because listen, I read my journals from I think my 16th birthday. I wrote an entry in my journal that absolutely blew my mind, and not in a good way. When I read it a couple years later, I was having a whole identity crisis. I was having a mental breakdown right there. And the things that I wrote, I don't know, it seemed like I was possessed by a really, really, really bad and wicked spirit. I wanted to end my life. I'm saying it now, it's like a joke. It's like a joke, innit? I don't think I'll be able to find those journals, but if I do, maybe I might share. Because the things have shocked me, can't even lie. I was having a whole identity crisis. I was writing things like, who am I? Why am I here? I don't understand how I got here. Like, I don't understand how I woke up today. It's my 16th birthday. It's almost like I felt like somebody else. It didn't feel like my life. I was confused about what was going on. I was just writing all these things down. It's not like I spoke to anybody. It's not like I acted any different. Like, reading it, I would have said I was going mad, actually. But obviously I wasn't going mad, because I was still acting normal and everything was normal, and I even forgot about it. Until years later I found this journal and I read how stressed out and confused I was about life and everything. I was that confused and like out of my mind, but here I am now reading it, laughing about it, and even being confused, like, what the hell was your problem at 16? Bills you were paying. Like, bills you were paying. Relationship problem. That relationship would never have meant anything serious. You guys, like, what exactly was the issue? That's why I'm like, it really seemed like it was a wicked spiritual attack or something. God has been saving me from time. This our God is good. Life is not just always what you see. Trust. Even then, I was a fine popping babe, but up here I was going crazy. It's always going to be okay. It's always going to be okay. Remember that. Which brings us smoothly into point 12. I think I am being prepared and ushered into better and great opportunities and realities. These are so specific, but at the same time applies to any and anyone across all the boards, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. This can apply to you because it's just like wisdom. The consciousness that you're being prepared and ushered into better and great opportunities and realities, it does something to you. The whole sentence, I am being ushered into better and greater opportunities and realities, seems like an affirmation, right? It's more like a consciousness that you should have. Whatever it is you're aspiring to, if you were sure you were gonna get whatever it is you're aspiring to right now, you would move differently. If I was sure that I was going to get like 500k in funding, I would have completed my entire business plan by now. But I'm still stalling. I'm stalling the business plan because I already started my business. I'm basically figuring it out as I go because I don't want to start anymore. It's been on my mind to start this business. I've even talked to you guys a couple of times about it. I've written about it in my newsletter. Now I'm finally doing it. It feels great. It feels good to be growing something and something that's mine. If I was sure that I was going to get like 500k in grants, I would have finished the entire comprehensive business plan with like images and stuff. But right now I'm stalling because I know I don't have that assurance that something great is going to happen. If I'm actually in this consciousness of I'm being prepared right now, I'm being ushered for something greater and bigger, I would move differently. This is why I love having a YouTube channel. I'm literally chatting to you guys, telling you what you should be doing that I've not been doing. What? Now that I'm thinking about it, obviously it's not easy, and there's other things that I'm doing. I literally started a business. I know I'm the marketer, I'm the photographer. You know how it is for an entrepreneur. You literally have to take on every role, do everything, and not outsource because funds are limited. I feel like I've been stuck in that scarcity mindset. I've been fighting it, and I was able to fight it and actually start my business even though I didn't have all the resources that I wanted to start. I was like, we're doing this, like, let's go. We're doing it now. It's gonna grow. No matter where you start, it still has to grow, you know? So let's just do it. So it's not like I have been slacking or anything like that. I forgot. This book, I haven't opened this book in a minute, and this book has all of my gems from the past couple months. It's like my growth journal, if you will. My schedule's in there, my initiatives, that topics I want to talk about. And I haven't gone back to the drawing board in a minute. Now that I'm saying it, that business plan, that comprehensive business plan that I'm talking about, that's going to get me up to 500k in funding, why don't I already have it? There's actually reasons for that. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's reasons for that. Being in this mindset is going to help me to, even if I don't have that whole comprehensive package due to certain limitations, I'm gonna have something close. And who knows what that plan that I create might get me in funding. Even if it's not 500k, it might be something else, and that will only happen once I eventually get to completing it and getting it to the right places and getting it in front of the right people. Again, having this consciousness will help you keep pushing, keep being motivated, keeping you on the right track. There's no downside to thinking that you are being prepared for better and greater opportunities and being ushered into better realities. Like, my reality right now is not what I want it to be. So with the consciousness that I'm actually being prepared and ushered into a better reality and being prepared for greater opportunities, it helps me to get through all these times and put in all that work. Even though I'm not seeing the results now, I know where this is going. Without that intention and that state of mind and that consciousness, it's harder. And I can't lie, it's been hard. June has been a little hard. Obviously, God loves me, so it's not been like super hard, but as a princess that I am, it's been sort of hard. Thank you, Jesus, for everything. I'm not complaining, I promise. Okay, this has been fun. I'm so glad we're doing this. I almost didn't do this tonight. I'm so glad we're doing this. It's nighttime outside. I have to record in the nighttime because of the area I live. It's very noisy and rowdy during the day. Don't even get me started. At night, it's more quiet, there's less noise, and I can record in peace. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're still here and you haven't clicked off. Like I said, God loves you if you're even watching this at all. This word is literally for you if you're here. If somebody sends it to you, God loves you too. Yeah, that's how I see it. Create a profile on LinkedIn is the 13th one. I wrote it down here, but I haven't done it yet. It's not been at the back of my mind, actually. It's been somewhere in the middle, not the front, but like the middle. I actually was supposed to meet up with a friend of mine to do it together with her. I learned that when I ask for help with certain things, it actually helps me to get that thing done faster because that person sort of acts as an accountability partner. Having help with anything is always good. I like things particular, but my challenge is realizing that sometimes you need help. And because I have like a certain avoidance to it, I feel like I have to remember my whole life and how I've gotten here, my experiences, in order to create that profile, and I don't really want to. That's probably a trauma response, me not wanting to remember my experiences. I asked for help. She was busy, so that's why I haven't gotten to that. By the next video, I would have had my LinkedIn profile up. Y'all are going to be my accountability partners now. So I will literally not be able to come here and record and face you if I don't do it. This is good. Reply to comments. I met her at the L'Oreal PR event and she was telling me, reply to all your comments across all your social medias. If there's one comment that's on your YouTube channel, reply to it. That really shows people that you care about your community. And so I've been doing that. I've been paying attention to my YouTube comments, replying all of them. Same thing with my Instagram comments. I'm so grateful that you guys want to engage with my stuff and you guys like my stuff. You guys think I'm pretty. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, reply to your comments if you get comments. Yeah. The last thing I wrote here was figure out storylines and hooks. I've been wanting to really harness the art of storytelling, especially since I'm gonna be yapping on YouTube now. Storytelling will really help you to draw in your audience and keep them there. That was it for this video. I really hope all of this or some of this information and knowledge and wisdom is of help to you. I really hope you can use this, further yourself, keep growing. I really hope you can eventually one day be the person that you envision yourself to be and the person that God has called you to be. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to share my experiences, my nuggets of wisdom and notes, my life and my pretty face. And thanks for walking with me. Thanks for watching Princess Core. I'm really glad I did this. I'm really glad you stayed till the end of the video. What did you want to say to them? I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.